Hey guys, welcome back. This is a tutorial series on how to improve your robot in Fusion 360. So today, one of the basics that we're going to try to go over is how to wire up your robot. So keep in mind, this is like almost final touches or finishing details. This is not going to really be able to help you guys with a high level design, but one of the things it is going to help is, hey, where are these hole placements are going to go for electronics board, right? So making these wires are also another great way to see what type of wire length we're going to need for to cut, and then also what type of gauge of wire we need through the diameter of the wire. So something that we have set up right here is that we have all the components we are going to set up. So I'm just going to walk you guys through on how to set up one entire wire path between the ESCs and then also the thrusters. So we're gonna go jump right in. We have our clean slate here. We have our sketches out. All of these sketches are locking in all the other components, so they will not move. This is something to keep in mind and something that I suggest everyone do. So when you save and open and play with this comment tree at the bottom, everything stays in their place. So we're gonna press P for project, and we're gonna select a face we want to start our first sketch in. So this is going to be the start of the wire, and then we're going to look for the end of the wire right here. So we're going to press S for sketch shortcuts. We're going to type in 3D geometry, or pardon, include 3D geometry, and this is just going to allow us to create a reference in space. Let's try that again. Include 3D geometry. Like so. So that's going to allow us to make a sketch off of here in the three-dimensional space. So we're no longer restricted to our 2D plane over here. So starting off, we're going to start off with a spline. So we can see here we have a spline. This circle here indicates that it's in the middle of the circle. We're going to just start from this left view. We're just going to put 3 curves in it, and like so. We don't want it connected, so we're going to actually undo that and retry it again. So we're going to press S for sketch shortcuts, spline. We're going to select here 1, 2, 3, and like so. We're going to select that final point there, and now we're going to be able to connect this spline up to that 3D geometry that we created. So right here. So you can see that point goes all the way towards there, and now we're going to press our M for our move tool, and then we're going to drag on these rounded squares. So this is going to allow us to translate the points on the axis that we want. So this is actually translating all these points only on the Z axis. Super duper valuable so that we don't lose them in the middle of space. So now that looks relatively well. It's a pretty shallow curve. So now we want to go through the top, like so, and rinse and repeat. So this is it's really important to look at these wires from all these different angles so that you're able to catch and edit that spline curve to be exactly what you want. So now we're going to press S and S again for sweep. We're going to click the profile. So this is just selecting that circle that we started to sketch off in, and then that path is going to be selecting what path you want your wire to take. So bada bing, bada boom, there you go, right? Now we want to make sure that we accurately represent this, and we're going to put it in appearances. So let's just do it a couple more times to get this down. So this is obviously going to be a sketch, and we're going to call it ESC's power wire. So, hey, you could be saying, hey, this is only ground, but no worries. So, we could edit this sketch, and just to keep everything nice and clean, all in one layer, we're going to include 3D geometry on our next start point, and then also our next end point. So that's going to be up here. We're going to do spline through here, 1, 2, 3. We're going to press OK. Gonna select that coincident up here. We're gonna select up here through that point. Go to top view, and now we're gonna do that move function again. So again, something like so, and something like so. Alrighty, looking good, looking good. So we're also gonna again take a look at other views, right? So that we're able to manipulate these wires into the correct positions. let's go like that. So we can complete the sketch, and now sweep again, turn on that layer, sweep, whoop, sweep, profile, we're going to select that path, and wow. So you can sort of see here these faces are not lining up, so we're going to be able to fix that, but first let's assign that appearance, and let's fix that right now. So we're going to edit that feature again, we're going to select the end point here, maybe not. No, sorry, I selected the edit feature for the sweep. We're actually going to edit that sketch, so it automatically defaults us to look straight onto that sketch. That's not what we want. We want to look at it from the top view. Now you can see as I move my cursor above the spline, it provides this green tangent line. We're going to select the end point of that and really curve that in so that the tangent line curves with the spline and it better accurately represents what we want. So I'm just going to edit a couple more of these so that we sort of play around with that. So you can see up here, right, I pressed escape on that time, so that's why it did not save. So let's edit here. So I click the spline, I get that tangent line, and now we can move the endpoint, right? Like so. So boom, that's good enough for now. All of that is all in one layer, or pardon, all in one, yeah, all in one sketch. So now we're gonna rinse and repeat. I'm gonna press P for project again. I'm gonna do include 3D geometry, and we're gonna select all of the other wires that we want included in this sketch so that we're able to better organize everything, so that we don't have 50 million wires all around our file. So now I'm gonna again rinse and repeat, go through that couple steps. When you're doing a lot, just keep in mind you don't have to press escape and re-click the button. You can just manipulate the ending that same tool over and over again. So again, it's super simple. If you're doing a batch, just rinse and repeat, and you can use the same tools over and over again. So I just did all my spline curves, all the all of the coincident lining up of all the points, and now I'm going to be using that move tool so that we're able to move all the wires into the correct location. So I want to give it a little bit more depth. Obviously, it wouldn't be ideal if you have floating wires in your actual model, but right now this is obviously just an example, so feel free, have fun with it, see whatever weird and wacky shapes you can do to obviously accommodate for your 3D models and also your robot constraints. So like so, we're going to press finish sketch, and then now we can do the fun part, sweep. We're going to select that profile, and then obviously we're going to click the path, and boom, right, one down, sweep. Right, we're going to turn on that line, we're going to press the profile, and then obviously we're going to press the class, boom, two down, and three down. So then now appearances, obviously, because we want to make it look good, whoop, we want to make it look good. So 1, 2, and that's good. So obviously we could clean it up a little bit here, but just for time's sake, we're going to leave it like that. So we're going to put it PWM cables for ESC1. Where obviously naming conventions are really important, but just being able to identify what sketch goes with what is super important. So just keep that in mind. I'm gonna do another projection here, and then obviously we're gonna include 3D geometry again. Include 3D geometry, boom. And then also, if I can get to it, boom. So then also you want to take a note that you always want to obviously model up where the start points and the end points of all your wires are. So in this penetrator here, I have all these 3 wires. There's just circles that are extruded so that we're able to get these wire paths, so that we're able to create those lofts. So the more accurate you can start with, the better it's going to be. So we're going to oh, why did I finish that sketch? Oh, so you can sort of see here that I made a mistake, that I created it all in one sketch. So you got to be super careful that you don't repeat what I did, right? Because that's obviously not going to be good for us. So let's actually delete all of that so that we're not confused at all. So we're just backtracking here. So this just shows I should have known because the PWM cables did not carry over from the last couple steps. So sorry, my bad. So again, we're gonna try that one more time. Let's roll it back here. I'm gonna press P for project, and now we're gonna press OK. So you can see that sketch 31 up there. I'm gonna turn off the visibility on this thruster, and then now we're gonna go include 3D geometry. So boom, boom. Right, and again, we're going to go boom, boom, boom. So now let's go on to the spline, right? So spline right here, and now because just repeating it from last time, we can repeat the tool without having to click off of it. So you can sort of see here, I'm doing a similar path shaping so that, oh, why did that not select? Oh, let's try that again. Spline, boom, 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 boom. Right, so then now we collect our coincident and we can start rocking and rolling now. So we're going to make sure these blue wires go to the blue wire like so, the green wire goes to the green wire like so, and the white wire goes to the white wire like so. Now again, it's all going to be repetitions, repetitions, repetitions. The more you can repeat this, the faster you're going to get and the more painless everything's going to be. So like I mentioned before, we're just using the tools over and over again. Obviously, you want to be able to put more splines, more paths here so that you're able to add in more bends for either more complex shapes. So if you want to leave a comment below on how to do that, that'd be greatly appreciated. But we're just going to blast through this whole thing. Obviously, we're, again, using those tools over and over again because we just have so many wires. Woo. So it's just all about that detail mindset, like, hey, we could make this look really good now so that we don't have to come back to it later and keep on messing with it. So we're going to finish that sketch and sweep all of these like so. Ooh, we gotta turn on that sketch because things like to turn off on us after we do that initial thing. So we're gonna keep it as a body just for simplicity's sake. So that, because just keep in mind, these bodies are made against the sketch. So whatever the placement goes, the body will follow. So we're gonna make all of these bodies, and then that just leaves it a little bit more flexibility so that we're able to paint these things over like so. So then now I need to get that dialog box out of there. We're gonna just finish it up through here. So obviously I created this endpoint here on the thruster. So now we're gonna, pardon, we're gonna, I'm losing my train of thought. We're going to press P for project. We're going to select that face. Obviously, I did not put an endpoint here, so I'm just going to put a circle here to represent that endpoint, and that's going to be good. We're going to include 3D geometry, and then, so just a reminder, that search bar is as tool. So we're going to go to the spline, again, using that sketch shortcut tool, that S shortcut. We're going to add in a couple points. You can see that connected. That's not what we want. Spline, so sketch shortcuts again, pressing that S shortcut there. So now I select that endpoint, select this endpoint, shift click, and bada bing, bada boom, all is good. So now we can go to that next view, select that point, and use the move tool and move it out. And again, move that point out so that we're able to really edit everything and really be able to get a really accurate representation of what we got here. So we're going to put that there. Obviously, cable management is super important, and naming schemes will help greatly in that. So we can say from connectors to penetrator, penetrator to thruster. So then now, obviously, we're going to do that sweep. Because I did not make that circle at all to size, we're going to select this profile and just work backwards. Select that path, and we're good to go. So, appearances, and then boom. So just to clean up this, obviously potting is not perfect, so what we can do actually is we're going to use that sketch and then also extrude out so that we can do that join function. Maybe not actually. Oh, maybe. We're gonna do that. We can make it a new body. Press OK on that, and then now we can just recolor it here so that we can say, hey, that potting, it's all intended to do. So now, super fun, super easy. One of the best things about this is in there you can press I for inspect or measure, and then it gives the length, and it also gives the diameter at the certain points. You can sort of see these deformities here, not necessarily 100% accurate to wiring, but this shows a lot of attention to detail, and then now one knows, hey, where to put the zip ties and where to put the mounting hole. So, hey, one of the other things that's super fun about this is that you can make zip ties with this. So we're going to actually project a sketch onto the bottom plate here. We're going to go for a slot tool. So slot here. There's so many S's in this tutorial. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Please be sure to leave a like and comment down below to let us know what you think about this tutorial. So this is a super rudimentary zip tie. Obviously I'm going to leave it, I'm going to leave it blue for now. We don't have to keep so much detail in that, but obviously you guys will want to lock that out later on. But this is just for the lulz, right? You don't necessarily need to do this, but this is just another fun way to use the spline tool. And then also what we learned in this today, hey, we can make zip ties. So we're going to select all of these. Obviously, we can do multiple selections at a time, right? To say, hey, we want to move all that jazz up, and we want to move all of this jazz down here. So boom, like that. We can do that spline again, right? Ooh, pardon, not the spline. We want to do the sweep now. We want to turn on that sketch again. We're going to click that profile, click that path, and maybe not, maybe not. I'm actually going to edit this. So one of the things I'm going to do is actually going to remove this. So you saw that it was connected. That's not necessarily what we want. So we're going to go back to that spline and we're going to start over. So don't worry about it, right? All is good in life. This is not something to worry about. We're going to put that point down there, and then we're going to connect that point like we've been doing with the wires down there. So like so, and then now obviously we're going to be able to select multiple at a time to move that up above the ESC, and then also we're going to centralize it down here like so. We can centralize these other points as well like so. Boom. Okay. Boom. Okay. So then now we can sweep, turn on those sketches, profile, path. It still does not work. Oh, maybe it has to go all the way through. Maybe not. I'm gonna have to look back at that. Actually, great. So it says that it's gonna intersect itself, so let's try that again. That's one of the things, if you have so many sharp turns, it's not gonna necessarily work out. So we're gonna have to move this down a little bit, move this down a little bit, move this back a little bit, and all should be good. So let's try that again. Actually, that looks pretty sharp there. I'm glad you guys are seeing my mistakes. So just to let you guys know that you guys will make mistakes, and that's completely okay. You just got to keep on moving forward with it and see what you can do with it. So like, oh, I guess it's not wanting to work right now, but that's okay. we can see, hey, this point, we can see that we can drag all these points up, but that corner is way too sharp. So let's try to edit that. Like so. Like so. Let's try that again. Turn on sketches, sweep. Ah! Why? I think that's a pretty good representation of what a zip tie would look like. We can obviously color it, and then obviously we can fill in everything else. So we're going to just press V for a moment there so that we can hide that body, and we're just going to extrude out both sides through here. So like so. And we can attach that appearance back on. Maybe not. We might want to do that for the whole body. So here, remove like so, and then obviously if we turn our body back on, then we have this beautiful zip tie. It can use some help, that is true, but nevertheless it's a relatively accurate represent, or it just adds out another depth of detail. But obviously you could go for something 3D printed to be a lot more professional. That's not the right color. That's gonna mess with me. Let's change it back. So this gives you a beautiful representation. Obviously, if you want to move anything around, you can. Let's see if we can do that right now. If we wanted to say, hey, let's move this way back. Let's move this thruster way back. The sketch should follow. Like so, you could see that sketch followed, but then obviously we'd have to obviously edit the curves to say, hey, that bent it in on itself, and you see it takes a little bit of detail and editing and tuning. So I hope this video helps. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, turn on notifications, all that jazz. Let us know what you'd like to see for our next tutorial, and thank you so much for watching. We'll see you later. Bye bye.